Hi Rabiatul. Alright, Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Alhamdulillah we get to meet each other again today. And inshallah we will see each other. Okay, we are still not sure of your turn yet, right? When are you going to go back to school? So hopefully we can meet soon, alright? So while we still have online learning right now, let's just continue with what we have to do, alright? Okay, so last week we have covered passive voice, right? Passive sentence. And also you guys were done with the speaking task, the presentation. Very good, well done. Actually the presentation is like just 1/3 of the actual speaking practice, because for the presentation you can prepare, right? You have some time to prepare, you can prepare the script, you can find the script on Google. But for your speaking task on SPM later, you will have to speak spontaneously. No time to prepare, no script, nothing. So it may be very more challenging then, but hopefully with the presentation will help you, will give you a warm up on the speaking task, the spontaneous one. All right, so before we start our class today, let's recite some prayers. I haven't elected anyone to recite the prayer, right? Okay, but just read this prayer silently, maybe on our own. Okay, let's recite the prayer now. All right. So I hope you guys have your textbook and exercise book with you. Are you ready with your textbook and exercise book? Do you have your textbook and exercise book with you?
Yes.
Okay, we are going to do some exercise today. So I want you to do it on your exercise book, all right? Okay. Okay, so this is what we have covered last week, right? The passive voice, the difference between active and passive. In passive voice, the agent or the person or the doer is put at the back, while the object is in front. For example, here in active voice, Haikal bought a wireless earphone, but in the passive voice, a wireless earphone was bought by Haikal, right? This way. And Anik eats McDonald's spicy fried chicken, but in passive voice, we focus on McDonald's spicy fried chicken. So it becomes McDonald's spicy fried chicken is eaten by Anik. All right. But if you can even remove the name here, so you can just say McDonald's spicy fried chicken is eaten. All right. So if you look at the structure of passive, okay, let's look at this one. Okay. Okay, so this is the difference between active and passive. So in passive voice, the object is put in front, okay? While the agent, the subject, the agent, the doer is put at the back. So a bag was bought by Anna, all right? And this is some examples of passive voices in other form. For example, present simple, I am called. So past simple, I was called. By who? We're not sure. Okay. Present perfect simple, I have been called. I'd be called. All right. So when you look at the passive voice here, okay, the verb. Okay, the verb is using past participle. All right. Okay, so for example here, a wireless earphone was bought by Haikal. So was because it is past tense. This one is past tense, right? Bought. So means in passive form it should be was because it is past, and bought here is not past tense, but it is past participle. All right. Another example is Anik eats McDonald's spicy fried chicken. This is present tense, right? Okay. So if you change this to passive, it becomes is to show it is present tense and eaten past participle. So is eaten. Alright, so remember whenever you see verb to be, is, was, are, were, am, so all those are verb to be. Okay, those are verb to be with past participle is eaten, was bought, was read. Okay, all those are passive sentences. All right, it's different from simple. It's different from active sentences. It's different from perfect tenses. Has eaten, has bought. So has eaten is active, but is eaten is passive. All right. Okay. So that's the difference between passive and active. So in passive sentences, we focus more on the verb rather than the doer. All right. Okay, now I'm going to show you this video before we move on to our practice today. Yeah. Okay, can you see this video? Nampak eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now watch carefully.
We talk about how many women were raped last year. It's not about how many men raped women. We talk about how many girls in a school district were harassed last year, not about how many boys harassed girls. We talk about how many teenage girls got pregnant in the state of Vermont last year, rather than how many men and teenage boys got girls pregnant. So you can see how the use of this passive voice has a political effect. It shifts the focus off men and boys and onto girls and women. Even the term violence against women is problematic. It's a passive construction. There's no active agent in the sentence. It's a bad thing that just happens to women. It's a bad thing that just happens to women. But when you look at the term violence against women, nobody is doing it to them. It just happens. Men aren't even a part of it.
All right, so you notice here, we talk about how many women were raped last year. So this is a passive sentence. How many women were raped? Okay, so that is a passive. And when we use this passive, it means we are focusing on the object, on the woman, not the one who is doing the action, which is the rapist. Okay. So when we do not about how many men raped women. All right. So when it is like this, the focus, if the sentence is men rape women, this is active sentence, right? So if we use active sentence, people will be more focused on the doer, which is man here. But now, people always use this sentence. Women were raped. But they did not mention who, by who. Why? Because this gives a very big impact on how the women, the victim, are being focused. All right. Now this is a big issue because the uses of passive sentences here makes people focus on the women, and this makes the woman feel more shy or embarrassed to speak out, okay, or speak up. So that's why this lady here, she suggested that if there are more rape cases, focus more on the doer rather than the victim. All right. Kesianlah victim kan, tak pasal-pasal dia fokus. Padahal the person is the victim. The doer should be given more focus on. So we should avoid this guy. All right. For example. Okay, so that is the effect of passive voice. All right, now look at your textbook. Okay, this one. Okay, look at your textbook, page 83. Yes, 83. Okay, so I have covered this one. Okay, now for questions number 1 until number 6, these are all passive sentences. Active sentences. All right. So for number 1 until number 6, these are all active sentences. Now, we need to change these into passive voice. All right. Okay, start with the words given. Okay, now let's try to do number 1. Graham gave Fred some CDs. Okay, let's do it together. Oh yeah, and please write on your exercise book, write today's day and date, and then the topic for today's exercise, which is grammar, page 83. All right, so on your exercise book, write this. Today is Tuesday, right? And then on the left side, on the right side, you put the date, which is 26th of October. You do it now on your exercise book. 2021. Okay, and write the title today, which is grammar. And then write page 85. Underline the topic, the title, all right? Okay, so right away, write the answer for number 1. Okay, on your exercise book. Okay, do you have your exercise book with you? Is it ready?
Yes.
Yes. Have you written the day and dates and the title? Yes, make sure you have written it. Make sure you have your textbook. Your exercise book. If you don't have your exercise book right now, just write on any paper and then you can paste on your exercise book later. All right? I just want to make sure that you use your exercise book. All right. So number 1, Graham gave Fred some CDs. All right. So how do we change this to passive voice? Okay, some CDs. Macam mana delete ni? So sangat. Yeah, we'll try and put that list. Some CDs. Boleh. Were given. So the object is Graham gave Fred. So some CDs were given to Fred by Graham. Okay, so you see the verb here, gave. That means it should be in past tense. So write the verb to be in past tense. Some CDs were given to Fred by Graham. Okay, or you can even if you did not put Graham, just end the sentence up until Fred. That is also correct and acceptable. All right. Okay. Now let's look at number 2. Passengers must wear their seatbelts at all time. All right, so seatbelts. Now, how should we change this into passive voice? Can anyone try? Seatbelts must. Passengers must wear their seatbelts at all time. Okay, so you can say seatbelts must be worn at all times. Okay, no need to put passengers. If you want to put passengers, yes, you can. You can say seatbelts must be worn by passengers at all times. But because this is passive voice, so the doer is not compulsory, right? So seatbelts must be worn at all times. Okay, number 3. Somebody took my mobile out of my bag. So my mobile, how to write this in passive sentences? My mobile took. How to change this into passive form? It is past tense, right? So should it be is, was?
taken.
Yes, was taken. Very good. My mobile was taken out of my bag. All right. So my mobile was taken out of my bag. All right. So that's number 1 until number 3. Okay, now can you try to do you want to do this together or you want to try to do this yourself? Number 4 until number 6.
Together.
Let's just continue doing it together, right? Okay, so they've built 2 new art galleries since 2005. So 2 new art galleries. So they have built. So we should also use have built is a past perfect, right? Whenever you see have there and a verb, that means it is a present perfect. Have is present. So have built. Okay, so 2 new art galleries. How do we change it to passive? So we put past participle also, okay? So 2 new art galleries. Okay, we still use have because they have here. Okay, have. And then how to change it to passive form? Built. Have built to have been built. Alright. Tiba-tiba ada been kan? Okay. But this is just the form of present perfect in passive form. So you have been here. So 2 new galleries have been built. Okay, and then you can write since 2005. All right. Okay. Now number 5. They sell helmets and knee pads at this shop. All right. So how do we do this? This is a simple one. Helmets and knee pads. How should we put it? Sell is using present tense, right? So should we put is, was, are, or were? Helmets and knee pads. And what is the past participle of sell? And what is the past participle of sell?
Sold.
Sold, yes, very good. All right, so helmets and knee pads, what should we put here? So we put are because they are plural, right? Helmets and knee pads are sold at this shop. Okay, and finally number 6, they will deliver my new sofa by next Friday. So this is will deliver. So this is future tense. Okay, how do we change the future tense into passive form? Okay, so my new sofa. Okay, as usual, we put will. And then we put be. Okay, delivered. Will be delivered by next Friday. Okay, on your exercise book, just write the answers right away. No need to copy the question. So write the sentence write the passive sentence right away. All right. So my new sofa will be delivered by next Friday. Okay, so whenever you see other kinds of tenses, future tense, perfect tenses, and perfect continuous tenses, you will find this word be, been, be. Oh, this is modal verb, so you will also find be. All right. Actually, the structure of the verb in passive voice is verb to be, or the word verb be plus past participle. Okay, that's why here dia mesti ada was, walaupun sebelum tu, before that, in the active there is no verb to be, right? But was is a verb to be and it should be put here, was, are, were. Okay, so in a structure of passive sentences, there is verb to be. Okay, that's why when the perfect tense is changed to passive, they have the have, and then the verb be is changed to past participle. So been, and then built, have been built. Alright, now this one, we delivered. Because this is future tense, okay, will. So after the will is a modal verb, that's why the be cannot be en, cannot be past participle. Alright, so it will be just the original verb be, so will be, and then delivered is the past participle here. So kalau dalam perfect tenses, dia ada dua past participle, be dengan built. Tapi kalau dalam future tenses, past participle dia dekat last kali. Okay, tapi yang penting, in any passive sentences, there will be past participle. You will use past participle and also verb be. Okay, the verb be. Alright, now let's move to the next page, the part 2 of the passive sentence. This one down here. Alright, so this is passive voice too, but it actually is a continuous tense. Alright, so an example here, my bike is being fixed this week, so I have to walk to school. Alright, so what do you think is the active form of this word? Okay, so the active form is being fixed, not sure by who, right? Maybe we can say the shop. The shop is fixing my bike. Okay, so is being fixed. Just like I said just now, you must, the structure of passive voice is the verb be plus past participle, right? Okay, so in case of continuous tenses, all right? So continuous tense is the word, the verb must have ing. All right? So in here, my bike is being fixed, all right? So is the verb be. All right, and the be, the verb be, we put ing on the verb be. All right? So my bike is being, jadi be plus ing jadi being, and then this is the past participle fixed. So dia ada verb be, dia ada be juga, and we put ing there, and the past participle. Okay, so my bike is being fixed this week. So this is the active form, the shop is fixing my bike. So if we want to change it to passive voice, we put the word be and then put ing on the be, and then fix, we change it to past participle fixed. All right? Okay, now the students were being shown around the museum when the guide realized that someone was missing. Okay, so we assume that the agent here is by the agent, right? By the guide, sorry, agent pula, by the guide. Okay, so how do we change this sentence into active form? So you see here, the verb be is in past tense, right? So that means this sentence is in past tense. So you can say, if you want to change it to active form, the guide being shown, so you see ing, it means it continuous tense, so is showing. is showing, and then put the object, the students, use short form, the students around the museum. Right. So this is the active sentence. The guide is showing the students around the museum, and this is the passive sentence. The students were being shown around the museum. All right. Now this is your new task. You need to change this. You need to change these active sentences into passive sentences. They have actually put the object here, but you just need to fill in the sentences using the verb. All right. Okay. Now, in your textbook, like in your exercise book, all right. Write the title grammar. You can and then write passive voice too. Okay, tadi sampai nombor 6 kan? Okay, so this is on your textbook, right? Grammar, page, tadi page 83. This one is page 85. I'm sorry. Okay, so and then you can write the title, passive too. Right, and then write number 1. Okay, write the full sentence, but underline the verb. All right. Okay, so write the answers only. No need to copy the active sentence. Just write the passive sentence, but underline the verb. Okay, now let's try to do this together for number 1. Is everyone following me? Okay, tak?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's try to do number 1. They are building a new shopping center in my neighborhood. Okay, so a new shopping center. Okay, since this is a singular, all right, so we should also use singular verb. Okay, so here it is, means it is present or past? It's past, present tense, right? So you can say a new shopping center, right, is, because it's present tense. And then building, how do we change that into be plus participle? Be plus
Being built.
Is being built. Yes, very good. Is being built. Okay, so this is the answer. All right, so in your exercise book, just write the full sentence, but underline the verb. All right. Okay, now let's do number 2. This is quite easy also. A trip to Amsterdam by my school. What? Is? How do we change this into past participle? Is being. Is being. What is the past participle of planning? Is being planned, right? Right. So a trip to Amsterdam is being planned by my school. So this one is quite easy because you just put all the verbs has is being or are being or was being or were being. But after being, change the verb into past participle. All right, let's do the next one. A sports event. Okay, the students are organizing a sports event. Okay, are, so that means it's a present tense. A sports event by the students is what? Is being organized, right? Okay, now try to do number 4 and number 5. This one is quite straightforward, so I think you can do this. Okay, number 4. The bank what? Can anyone tell me what's the answer? 2 men were robbing the bank when the manager arrived. Okay, so what is the verb there? The bank? What's the answer? This is past tense, right? And then the bank is singular or plural?
Singular.
Yeah, they're singular. So what should we put here as the verb to be? The bank, is it was, were, is, are, am? Which one?
Was.
Yes, very good. Was. The bank was, and then followed by, alamak, apa dia?
Being.
Okay, the bank was what?
Rob.
Being robbed.
Yes, very good. Being robbed. Very good. Cuba ke was being robbed. Tadi Zami cakap juga saya tak dengar jawapan Zami. Was being robbed by two men. Itu je jawapan ni, senang je kan? Okay, now last one. My brother was teaching me a skateboarding trick when Steve called me. So, I was teaching how to change this into passive. I
Being.
apa Aisyah Sarah?
Was being.
Yes, was being. Was being what? What is the past participle of teaching?
Taught.
Taught. Very good, Zamil. Alright, so taught. Was being. I was being taught a skateboarding trick by my brother when Steve called me. Okay, the jam pula. Alright, so now you are done with the passive voice, okay? Why do you need to learn this? Because later, sometimes when you are writing a report, you are focusing more on an event or a situation, all right, or something. So usually a report will use passive voice. For example, the report of vandalism. So you want to say that there are some vandalism on the on your residential areas park in the playground, for example. Okay, so you can say the slide has been broken. So that means you want to focus on the condition of the slide. All right. And when you are using passive, that means you want the slide to be repaired soon. That's why you are not focusing on who did that. You did not focus on who did that, but you focus on the slide. All right. So passive voice is very important in writing a report. So that's the first part of the lesson. Okay, now we are going to do listening. All right. So before we do this, please Facebook, and I have already prepared a Google form for you to answer. Right. Oh, just some extra thing. If you are talking about question, all right. If it is a question, so this one is passive, is being what, right? So passive in continuous tense. But if it is a question, you put the verb to be in front. So is English being studied by the students right now? Okay. So if it is a question, in between the verb, you put the object in the middle. All right. In passive form, in active form, the subject is put in the middle, and then comes followed by the and the verb are together in subject. Now,
Teacher lek.
me, ya. Apa dia?
Teacher lek. Teacher lek.
Okay. Okay, do this practice. Okay, if you can leave Google Meet now, do this practice first, and then we meet again at 11 here. Is that alright?
Alright, teacher.
Kalau tak lift,
Okay. Ah? Tak boleh apa? The listening for. So you can just listen there and please refer your textbook so that it will be easier for you to refer to the questions. Put here the question here. Right? Okay, now you again on 11. Thank you guys. Okay, dah 28 orang jawab. Siapa nak try lagi pun boleh, kalau tak puas hati dengan markah sendiri. Ramai juga dapat betul semua ni. Bagus. Paling ramai dapat 4 lah. Okay, salah satu je. So, very good. You guys dapat check kan markah? Dapat tengok jawapan kan? Betul?
Dapat.
Okay. Siapa yang dapat kurang 3, bolehlah try balik semula jawab. Okay, dah 39 orang jawab. Very good. Siapa yang belum hantar lagi boleh sempat lagi ni buat listening. Ni saya check sekejap siapa yang tak ada lagi. Zura belum ada lagi, Zura. Sempat lagi Sarah? Amalia main Sarah? Jawab listening. Jangan lupa tekan submit. Okay, Balkis dah ada. Aileen ada tak? Aileen ada. Apa lagi? Zul jawab listening tu form. Okay, Ikuan dah submit. Nazhan dah submit, bagus. Iman. Iman 4M1, Muhammad Nur Iman. Jawab tau Google Form. Buat listening.
Jawab.
Kita nak discuss lagi 5 minit je lagi. Okay, Is dah jawab, Haikal dah jawab. Arif, ada jawab tak? Oh, ada dah jawab, alright. Anik, are you there? Anik jawab Anik Google Form. Din pun tak ada lagi nama ni. Jawab Din. Noah pun dia jawab lagi ni. Noah jawab Google Form, Noah. Listening. L dah ada. Okay. Intan dah ada. Bagus. Hajar dah ada. Hafi dah ada. Okay. Apa lagi? Mengejar. Okay, dia dah submit. Ami belum lagi Ami. Ami buat Google Form Ami. Amir Ashraf.
Baru lupa balik tanda itu.
Okay. Buat cepat. Mirul dah ada. Okay, Iman 4K tu pun dah ada.
Teacher dah.
Anik dah buat. Okay, bagus. Mana nama Anik? Mana nama Anik? Tak ada pun Anik nama awak. Oh, ada. Okay. Baru masuk. Alright. Afina. Nak Afina. Okay, Afina pun dah ada. Adik. Adik nama awak tak ada lagi ni Adik. Buat Google Form Adik. Lagi 3 minit lagi sebelum kita bincang jawapan. Susah tak soalan dia?
Boleh tahan lah.
Boleh lah. Kan jawapan dia tak direct kan? Saya pun rasa tricky sikit. Macam ni betul, tapi ni betul. Okay, dah 46 jawab. Bagus. Keep it going. Mostly ramai dapat 4. Ada yang dapat 0. Yang dapat 0 ni boleh try jawab balik. Don't worry. Dapat 2 ni pun boleh try jawab balik kalau nak. Okay? Nanti sebab ni kan, listening ni ada markah PBD dia tau. Saya memang tulis markah korang kalau PPD ni. So siapa yang dapat 4/5 dapatlah band 5. Kurang daripada tu dapat kurang. Kalau nak jawab balik pun boleh Dah tahu jawapan kan? Try jawab balik. Esok vaksin kat Pesada. Siapa datang Pesada esok hari insyaAllah jumpa saya. fine. It's 11 now. Okay. Let's discuss the answers. Saya panggil balik. Alright, for question number 1, what prevented the boy from playing football? Okay, so question number 1, the correct answer is B. This one, the person mowing the lawn, the grass. Alright, so this is what prevented. And the lady said the rain, right? But she said the rain hasn't prevented them from playing. And then the boy said that they are waiting for the grass to be mown. And then while waiting, they sat at the goalpost with some broken to wait for the grass to be mown, right? Okay, so the correct answer is B. Alright, the boy mentioned this goalpost, but this is not what prevented them. What prevented them the most is B. Okay, number 2, which level on the computer game hasn't the boy finished? Okay, let's look at the answer. For number 2, the answer is C. Alright, so just now during the dialogue, the boy and the girl was talking about the game, right? The girl is already on level 14, she was showing off. And then the boy was playing level 13. And then finally, the boy said, level 14, here I come, right? Okay, so that means C is the answer. Okay, next, number 3. Okay, which activity do both girls like? The answer is B, okay? For C, both of them don't like it. And A, table tennis or ping pong. Only one of them liked it. The first girl gave it as an idea, as a suggestion. Okay, so both of them like B. Okay, now, number 4, this one is quite tricky because it doesn't give a straightforward answer, okay? How high is the basketball hoop in the school gym? Okay, so focus in the school gym. Okay, so the answer for number 4 is A, all right? It said that the basketball hoop that the girl is playing right now is 10 feet. But then the coach said that in school gym, it is 1 feet less or 1 feet lower. All right. So the answer is A. Okay, and finally, number 5, what time did the boy wake up? The answer is C, at 8. Firstly, the teacher said to set an alarm, and then the boys set an alarm at 7, but then he did not wake up then. And then after 1/2 the mother woke him up right at 7:30, but he still did not wake up. He fell back to sleep, and then finally he wake up at 8. All right. This one is also quite tricky. Too many times being mentioned. All right. Okay, so that's those are all the answers for listening. Okay, now we still have a lot of time, right, before 11:30. Okay, now I would like you to look at page. Okay, congratulations for everyone who has responded. So now we have 50 more responses. Okay, now let's look at page 84 on your textbook. This one. Okay, this is page 84, the vocabulary part. All right. Okay, this is just to get you prepared for your vocabulary, with your vocabulary. Okay. All right. So if you look at these words, okay, let's look at A. All right. So look at the sentences 1 until 4 here. Okay. Look at the sentence 1 until 4. Okay, luckily the helmet the boy was wearing prevented him from getting seriously injured. If Julie concentrated more on her schoolwork, one thing I can cope with is the extreme heat. And you see lots of homeless people begging for money, begging for. Okay, so all of this, okay, the verbs that has been bold, they are the phrasal verbs. Okay, phrasal verbs mean the verb has a preposition after it. Okay, so for example, prevented from, concentrated on, cope with, and begging for. Okay, so these verbs must be accompanied by the preposition so that the meaning will be more accurate. Okay, but you cannot just put the preposition with any verb. The verbs has their own preposition and it cannot be changed with another preposition. If it changes, the meaning will change and it doesn't suit. Okay, so now let's look at here. Okay, in the table here, you have from, on, with, and for. Okay, so on your exercise book, you have to draw this table and put down here which verb fit in the table here. Okay, so if apologize, the preposition that comes after it is usually for, right? So apologize for hurting someone. So I would like to apologize to you for being late, for example. Okay. So apologize for, so you put apologize here. Okay, depend. Okay, what should it be paired with? Is it depend from, depend on, depend with, or depend for, right? So fill in this table with the verbs here. Okay, so this is the first activity. So do activity A. Okay, now for activity B, just keep this part and go right away to number 1 until number 6. Okay, so what I want you to do is you write the verb that is bold here. For example, okay, so on your exercise book later, write vocabulary as the title and write page 84. Okay, for A, draw the table and then fill in the tables with the answer with the suitable verbs. Okay, now for B, right away answer the questions number 1 until number 6. So what you should do is write the verb in bold only that has been bold, write the verb and the meaning and pair it with the meaning. Okay, so here number 1 you have the verb overheard, overslept, overlooked, overcooked, and here A, B, C until F is the meaning of the verb. All right, so you should pair this verb with the meaning. All right, so on the exercise book, write the verb and the meaning. For example, number 1 is overheard, right? Okay, so the word is overheard and the meaning is hear something by accident. So write the meaning E, hear something, hear something by accident. Or without the speaker knowing. And then proceed with number 2, overslept. Korang jangan salah eja nanti. Number 3, overlooked. Okay, so write all the meanings. Okay, so all the meanings are here. So just match the meaning with the word and then write the meaning on your exercise book. Okay, so that's for B. Okay, now for C, this one is quite tricky. So I want you to do this in groups later. All right, so for C, read the notes and complete the tables. All right, so draw the table and then draw adjective and noun. And here there are 2 tables that you should draw, adjective and noun, and also adjective or verb and noun. All right, so you need to change the word here to become noun. For example, active, you put activity and then it becomes noun. And then popular plus ITY, it becomes popularity. Fit, is it fit? Is it so choose whether you put my anak nangis lah. Okay, choose whether to add the word this one NESS or ITY at the end of the sentence to make it a noun. So you need to choose lah which one is appropriate for this word here. Okay, for example, active plus ITY jadilah activity. And then here fit plus NESS jadilah fitness. Alright. Okay. And then for here you change this one is irregular, right? So there is no pattern. This one it has pattern, right? Put ITY or NESS. This one no pattern, so you need to change this into noun. So how do you change strong to noun? So strong to noun is becomes strength. Okay, so weight, how do you put it as adjective or verb? Okay, so weigh, in verb, it is weigh without T, for example. Okay, so do you understand how to do this? Faham tak?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Alright, so try to do activity A, B, and C on your exercise book right now. Do you want to do it on breakout room or individually? You nak macam mana? Nak buat kat breakout room ke individually?
Ikut teacher.
Ikut teacher. Okay, saya bagi korang buat kat breakout room lah. Macam as usual, dia random je tau. Okay, so you can go to your breakout room, you can discuss with your friends. Kalau tak nak discuss pun boleh buat individually. Alright. Shelly, I think you need to update your Google Meet lah so that you can go into the breakout room. Alright. Okay, so please do this on your exercise book now and you can go to your breakout room and at 11:25, you please come back here and then we will end the class together. Alright, okay, so now you can go to your class. 20 minit 10, 13 minit. Alright, you can go to your breakout rooms now. I will check on my sheet. Right guys, did you manage to finish it? Ke tak sempat?
Tak sempat.
Tak sempat. Okay, so okay lah, let's just discuss the answers and then maybe you later please complete it on your exercise book, alright? Okay, we have like 4 minutes left. Yeah. And call your friends to join the main call. Exit breakout room now. This, right? Borrow benefit from, and for, apologize for, and search for. Okay. Okay. Now, next is. Alamak. Stop. Yeah. Okay, so number 1 is E, overheard is hear something. Number 2, D, sleep longer than you should. Overslept is sleep longer than you should. Number 3, overlooked. F, not notice or ignore something. Number 4, B, overcooked. B, cook something for too long. Number 5, overtake is A, pass a person or vehicle that is ahead of you. Number 6, C, overflowed is be so full that the contents go over the side. Right? So that's overflow. Okay, now let's move to the next one. Jam lagi. Okay. So for adjective and noun here, active just put ITY at the back. So activity, popular, popularity, fit, fitness, lonely, loneliness, dark, darkness, aware, awareness, capable, capability, kind, kindness, possible, possibility, weak, weakness, similar, similarity, and necessary is necessity. Okay, necessary is this one is a bit different lah, not the same as before. It is not necessarity or necessariness, but we remove the ARY and change it with ITY. So necessity. Okay, finally, this one, strong, strength, weight, weigh, depth, deep, high, height, anger, angry, belief, believe. So believe, VE is the verb and belief with an F is the noun. The same as relieve and relief. Okay, now die, dead or die is death. Thought is think, the verb is think. Thought is the noun. Now famous, the noun is fame. And for growth, growth. Growth, the verb is grow. Okay, did you get all the answers? Okay, make sure to complete it on your exercise book. And for next week, please be ready with your exercise book as well. We will do writing practice, okay? And the following week, inshallah, we will do some speaking activity. So please get ready with your textbook and exercise book, okay? Okay, so I guess that's all for our class today. Thank you very much to everyone for joining my class. And I hope you guys will have a good day. Thank you guys. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, Sarah. We love you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. I love you
teacher.
too. I love you guys too. I should stop.
Teacher,
Tarik tidur.
Yes.
yang kerja ni kena tulis kat dalam buku ke?